Wicked, 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 wicked. Wicked tones, you know.
It's like teaching people to engage muscles is obviously a good thing. No one's saying it's a bad thing. But at the end of the day, it's like the analogy of training wheels that we always come back to. It's like training wheels have to come off. So you can ingrain movement patterns and you can fucking move at this snail's pace or this super hyper slow motion. Oh, I know where my lat is now. I know where my fucking forearm is. It's like, but at some time you're gonna have to pick up a weight that's heavier than this beginner weight that you're being taught with. And the load alone is going to pull you out of form. You're gonna have to fight like the battle of your life to keep the form. That's literally like the hardest. It's gonna be the hardest thing about it is maintaining this posture, whatever posture you're taught. Not the way I teach. Could be anything anyone teaches. The weight's gonna get to a point at one point where that's gonna suffer because you can't maintain it, or you're too concerned about how heavy the weight is, or whatever. And at that time, natural movement needs to take over. And that's what people don't understand. So why wouldn't you get people moving naturally to begin with? So a light load is as easy to pull as a heavy load. They're just different intensities and different, obviously, loads. So you have to work harder or less hard in the exercise, right? People only do pulls like this. Not that this machine's in a lot of gyms. We're lucky to have Panada stuff here. It's like any type of low row, the immediate movement on a low row, seeing as how it's the name is low row, is not to pull high. So I'm not going low and then going like, it's like, why? Do a high row then. Don't go on the machine that says low row on it. It's like people don't understand. If it's almost like they feel like if they can't engage back immediately on a pulling motion, which is most likely this, then it's like, oh, it didn't happen. But it's like I'm pressing here, and don't even get me started on the head position, guys. Like the amount of stupidity in the comments. Your head position doesn't determine your lat engagement. There's the problem. There's the problem. Like that is the problem, that you think that. Right? So it's like, if I'm gonna pull here, of course I don't feel crazy engagement within the first 5 inches, but I am locked in a path where my shoulders are down and my chest is up. So when I flex to here, I get across my whole back. I flex into mid-back, I let out through mid-back. I rock. So my back's open and then it comes together and squeezes. And then it's open again, as opposed to going and just letting it go. And so all you guys, well, this thing could hold 5 plates. Let's fucking put 5 plates on and just shrug the fucking thing up there. It's like, not quite. The average TikTok person who comments on videos, is there's a lot of cool people on there that are intelligent when it comes to training and they'll understand what they see, even if they agree with me or don't disagree with me. They understand like where I'm coming from or where other trainers are coming from. But then there's just these like, the hills have eyes motherfuckers who are just like sitting there like, what? Like, you're speaking a language I don't understand, like barbell pickup pull. It's like, dude, get off the fucking app. Like, if your biggest workout of the day is tapping your fingers on a keyboard, don't make comments on people's videos that are trying to help people, right? One of the biggest things for doing back well, and we talked about this before, is this understanding that your hands are basically anchors, and I can move anywhere I want around the anchor. Right? It's like a boat in the water that throws down an anchor. The anchor doesn't keep it in one spot. It basically rotates around the length of the anchor and the chain, right? Like it's just floating in that diameter that creates going around it, right? So it's the same thing here, as if I'm anchored here and my weight is all down in my hands, I can set my body wherever I want. I can lean, I can duck, I can do whatever, but the last thing I need to do is this. or hold. So I'm trying to hold the anchor from the bottom of the ocean basically, and I'm supposed to just like float around and not know where I'm positioning from, right? Whereas if I start from my end point and I'm rocking up through, I get all that weight back out there again. I don't come here and then I short it, and then I start pulling, and then my body starts rocking forward, and it starts to be this seesawing, because if we don't get full length, we can't get full extension. It's really hard. Yeah, so if I don't extend out here, even if I'm doing this with one arm, if I don't extend out here and relax so that I can get my chest to relax and my shoulders to stay down, I can't drive up as deep as I want. So if I only come to here and I get tense and I do this, I can rock to there. I can get up, and it's going to keep getting shorter because I don't know where that end point is, because I'm just making it up every time. As it gets heavier, it's going to get shorter. So if every time I come to this lengthened position and rock up, and I kill the momentum and I rock up, my body understands that whole pathway, right? It's not like, oh, this time you went back an inch before you did before, now you're half an inch, now you're 2 inches in front of it. It's like, it doesn't understand the range, right? And that's when people start getting alligator arms and not being able to pull. Get Big Al on camera. Actually feels better with one arm. This machine's moving on a better path. It's forcing you to arc, right? So a lot of people that do this, I'm gonna talk about this later, if they do two-hand or even if they did the inner grip, it doesn't matter. A lot of people think like this thing is moving, it's literally moving down in. If it kept going, it would end up flat down there. So it's like an arcing motion, as opposed to a cable that's up and down. You have to create your own path, right? So this is already on a path. So the idea is to keep your palm under it and roll. So stay with the tension of the arc and then ride that tension back up. So I'm being pulled back, I'm going forward with it, and I'm rocking back. Whether I'm in here, wherever I am, I'm locking into lat. When I let out, I'm letting out from the bottom of my lat. I'm not letting out from my hands. My lower lat is opening up around my body, and it's letting my hands go. And then I'm sliding shoulders back down. So it's almost like I'm from behind, my back is here. This is the point of my lat. It's literally opening up and then pulling back down. So I'm emanating from the bottom up and pulling back down in, right? So a lot of people, when they don't stay with the arc of the pull of the machine, they do this. And they pull, there's this like little hiccup here where you're like pulling the thing down. Like it's just to get it to here. Like this is nothing. It's beyond nothing. Like if you're doing that shit, I don't even want to say it because I've said it so many times. It's like if you think that that's what back is, physically pulling things down as far as you can pull them down, and just magically my lats grew. All I had to do is pull this thing. The same thing on this one. I'm holding in my lat low, tucked in below. I'm letting out from there. So I'm not trying to get my shoulder to go. My shoulder's the last thing that pops up, and then I'm dropping it back down again. I'm rocking in lat. I'm not trying to go this shit. Right. So find your angle. This is my angle where I feel my lat the most. Turned in a bit, pressing on this handle to keep my elbow forward, to keep my lat open, fighting to keep my shoulder down. The easiest way to do that is not be here. If I'm here, it's really hard to keep my shoulder down. If I'm here, I can set it into my body more. I already have leverage, right? It's just a tuck of the shoulder. Or you could just do oblique crunches. Apparently they make your lats grow too. On this one arm, we can rock on lat a lot. We're gonna get a lot of outer kind of mid lat, just because the angle that I'm on. And the other one here, I can get real deep. I can lock into low lat. Like if here I wanted to lock into low lat, I'd have to get to about here, and I'd have to really like dig deep to pull this thing down to the point where I would be doing like a fucking ab crunch. Whereas here I can like lock on my lat and just let that thing be free and move. Rock to where it rocks, then rock forward. The idea is to find tension on the lat and then rock off of it. It's not to go and flex into it, right? I don't do my biceps When I work my biceps, I work them to a contraction, a peak contraction. I don't work them to here. People doing that, it's like, no wonder your forearms hurt. You know what I mean? It's like you're working to a peak contraction, then you're letting that peak contraction stretch out, riding out through. So it's the same thing with your lat. My lat is open on a different angle. I'm just rocking down into lat here. Obviously can't get that much elbow swing because this machine won't let me. But here, I can drive my elbow straight down in my pocket. So it's the same. There I'm stuck in this position, like straight line. Here I can curve in and lock into my lat, my elbows forward more. I'm not open like on that machine. I'm here. So I can just rock out from this low lat. So I'm tall here and I'm letting out from lat and then dropping. My elbow drop on this is significantly deeper than the other one. And I can really drive chest up through and flex down into the depths of my lat. You should always get this little kind of, it's like a hesitation up here. So if I'm coming up here, I'm resting, I'm slowing the rep, driving, slowing, driving, slowing so this doesn't happen. Because it's really hard. It's a very fucking hard thing. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's easy, like how the fuck aren't people getting this? It's a really hard thing to keep your shoulder in your body and let a weight go above you. It takes years to like master that, right? Of this like depression of the shoulders. And you'll see even top guys in the sport, they can't do it. And that's why their backs suffer. A lot of their issues are their ability to do that, and they're using too much weight. So even if they can do it, like we said in the other video, the load of the force of the weight is pulling them out of there. Instead of just being able to let out on back, because that's all we're training, and then drop into the lat, it's like, and I just hope I'm getting it. And I hope something's happened because I'm lifting so heavy. And I gotta look cool for a fucking video. I'm doing whatever the fuck that is on there, 80 pounds. Like, and I'm 295 pounds, guys. Like, and I used to be a pro bodybuilder. I never did the whole stack here. It's like, find the muscle, work on it. You need to almost view yourself training a muscle as you physically stretching and contracting it yourself. So I'm letting my lat out. Yes, I'm holding onto my hand, but I'm disassociated. I'm holding on my lat and keeping this angle so I can drive down into my lat again with my elbow. So again, my hand is an anchor that's stuck. It's connecting me to the machine. Therefore, it's allowing me to lock on and I can move through my body. It's not like I overgrip this fucking thing and I'm trying to like muscle things and like arm wrestle everything. That's what people are not getting, right? It's like we said before, or I think I said it before. It's like, you know, an Avatar, they take their like braid and then they get on those things that fly and they link to it.
Make the bond!
And they think like, not their brains are connected now telepathically. Like, it's the same thing with a machine. So if this is you connecting to the machine and creating that connection, now it's there. I'm just locked, but my body's doing the work, right? It's the same thing. It's a weird analogy, but it fucking works. If you do the same concept we're doing on everything where I'm letting out from, fuck, I wish there was like, I can't point to my own back. It's fucking annoying. But like if this is your head, this is your back, obviously, the middle of your back. So if my lats come down and insert in here, right? I want to feel like I'm locked in here and letting open, like I'm letting these open and then pull them in. And then doing that downward pressure, letting up from below and pulling down, it's gonna hit in here with that supinated grip, right? So yeah, if people are doing this, I can see how it's hard for them if they're pulling wide. It's a lot of shoulder. It's hard to not roll forward a bit, especially when it gets heavy. Whereas if you lock down here like we did on the Watson in there, or any cable pull where you can rotate handles, I can almost lock that mid back and lower lat down. So almost like making a V in my back. So shoulders are down. I'm pushing hands and I'm just rocking. So I'm not falling back. I'm just keeping my head up and I'm sliding those shoulders behind my ears. So I'm getting enough momentum to be able to drop my shoulder I'm just sliding my down in, so I'm flexing into back as opposed to like it being a true pull down, right? They fuck people up, people who like teach exercise science, and so like these are pull movements, these are push movements, but even the pull movements aren't pulls, some of them. Like that's not a pull. That's a sink. So yes, the act of dropping down is me pulling, right? But if I only think about that in terms of like moving the bar, I'm literally sinking my shoulders while I'm holding something and I'm letting my shoulders back out. It's almost like I'm doing a shrug from above. So I'm just dropping into things, right? I'm rocking up through my body. And this one we can create, if you put a lot of foot pressure here, I'm sure there's other standing versions of this. So I'm fighting my foot pressure here is keeping my hip back. So I'm stiff as a board in this leg. I'm fucking like locked into there, right? So when I take this off, I can hold this weight anywhere I want based on how much I want to dig into that leg. I can lay back here and hold the fucking thing because all that weight's in my front foot and in here, right? So if I sit here and I pull my head back, I let those arms roll over and make my back cave in or my chest cave in, then I roll and spread. So the pull can't be quick. It's got to be a spreading and flexing. So if you told people this is a pull machine, this is what they do. But they don't feel the tension of the machine. You have to ride the tension of the machine. It can't be a fast pull. It has to be a spreading and sinking, rocking down through. So I'm almost hook gripped on here and spreading my elbows low and wide up through. So I want to have this chest pad cave in my chest, make my back go convex, and then bang, roll open, right? So I get that full stretch and reach around. But I can't get that unless I offset weight in my foot and here. If my weight isn't offset here, I'll never be able to get that length without panicking. Or get that length and then go and pull the thing, right? I know people like my sound effects, so keep doing them. A lot of people who didn't read the major bullet points and asterisks on the pre-order, which I appreciate everyone who ordered, like was blown away by the amount of sales that we did this time. We more than doubled our sales from last time. So I appreciate the support and everyone like buying what they bought. A lot of people bought more than one item at a time, which is like mind-blowing to me. I'm just happy that I have such great people watching me and supporting what I'm doing. But yeah, so that being said, a lot of people kind of skim past the major bold asterisk points, and basically like the orders will be shipped out by April 25th. Trying to do it sooner, to be honest, like if we can, but that's the absolute last day they'll be sent out. So just be on the lookout for that, because I had a couple of people write me like, oh, I'm supposed to get over and I'm supposed to get like this shipping and I didn't get it yet. I'm like, well, yeah, it's not made yet. Some of it is, but yeah. So I appreciate everyone though.
The key point is pre-order only.
Yeah. Pre-order, meaning coming at a later date.
And once the pre-order's done, you can't buy it anymore.
Yeah, but there was a big gap between releases, between drops this time, but now that summer's coming, gonna drop another one, hopefully, if I'm being realistic, second or third week of May, which is just all gonna be t-shirts and summer stuff. I'm trying to source some good shorts right now. I'm very picky. I don't want to put out just garbage like some of these top brands just throw out fucking trash like Champion shorts and just absolute bullshit. Charge you guys fucking 80, 90 bucks for a pair of Champion shorts that like hug your nuts and fucking don't sit on your body right because you're a big dude. It's like, I'm just trying to find stuff that I personally feel comfortable wearing. So it's like, I'm never gonna make stuff or promote stuff that I wouldn't wear myself or I'm not comfortable in. So that's gonna limit a lot of the stuff I put out, but I also have to be true to myself. Like I don't wanna make stuff I wouldn't wear. Because at the end of the day, that's what it was about for me, is just making stuff that fits well. Guys who train, guys who are big, even girls who train, who are muscular, or maybe they're off season, or they're in shape, whatever, just have stuff that's like easy, like comfortable, quality stuff that you like to wear. Hoodies in the gym, t-shirts in the gym. Ideally gonna probably get like some cropped hoodies for girls. Been trying to source, like get a good source for There's a lot of the hoodies that sell for guys that are longer in the body. So when women wear them, they tend to bunch up, whereas we're gonna get ones that are kind of cropped here. Same quality of hoodie, and just get it so that the girls who order aren't really stuck with these like man-sized proportion hoodies, right? Which is, it's fine because that's your like kind of oversized and stuff, but if you want a more fitted look and something you can wear out, not just in the gym, it's probably better to not have something that's like covering your ass or like clumped up in the bottom, right? But yeah, but thank you to everyone.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, don't do that.